What's up guys? Are you looking for a tinted polycarbonate roof for your Kawasaki KRX 1000? Well, SuperATV's got you covered, and today we're gonna show you how to get one installed. So for this first step, you'll just wanna discard it, not even pay attention to it, unless you have an OEM roof installed on your machine. We do, so we're gonna show you what you need to do to remove it. Again, if you don't have a roof on your machine already, you can go ahead and skip forward to when we start installing the roof. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is come back here to the rear. You're gonna see that you have a couple straps. Just like this. Our middle one's broke, it's gone. We'll have one right here as well. So that would be a total of 3 straps on the rear that you'd have to remove. Then you come up here to the front, and you'll see you have this little thumb screw here. You'll just wanna thread that all the way out. We dropped our hardware, don't do that. You'll have one right over here in the same spot. Ours is missing. Then you'll have 2 straps up here in the front. We've already undone our straps, so our roof should just lift right off. We got one of our straps pinched in between our rear windshield over here. So we're just gonna jump to the back and go ahead and slide that out. Shouldn't be a problem, it's just gonna pull right out for us. Just the angle that we were pulling on made it a little tricky. So there it is. Now we can just grab this roof, slide it right off. We'll go ahead and set it aside. All right, so now for this next step, you want to go through with a rag or something and just clean this whole area of the cage off. You want to get it nice and clean all the way around because we're going to be installing some foam seal. We don't want to have a dirty surface to where our foam's going to come off. All right, so if you have a windshield installed in the front of your machine, you want to make sure that you loosen the hardware enough to get the windshield off of the cage just a hair. So we're going to back our hardware off pretty good. That way we get a little bit of room there. We may just go ahead and disconnect it all the way. If you have a flip and you're running this clamp right here, you'll be able to just take your nut off completely, take your bolt and just slide it out. That way it'll kind of pull up a little bit. We also have some hardware over here we may have to mess with. Take it loose. All right, that's loose enough. So we just want to loosen it to where we have just a few threads on our nut here. We don't want to completely take it off. You know, it's just going to cause us a little bit more of a headache, make it kind of difficult to get back together if you would. So we're just going to slide it to this point here, and we'll go over to the opposite side, do the same thing. That way we have a good little gap in between our windshield and our cage. So next we're going to go ahead and grab our foam seal, start it right here in this corner. I'm just going to run it all the way across. And once we get to the edge, we'll just go ahead and peel it off, or you can cut it either way. And we'll just take this piece, butt it up with that one, run it all the way up the front, and then just push on all of the foam seal up into this point. And we'll just start right here and run it along the front portion of the cage, all the way across. Once we get right here, you can tear it or you can cut it, either way. And we'll just butt it up and then run it all the way back and connect it to our other piece of foam. So right here, get it all laid out here. Then we'll cut it, that way we know we're gonna make a good precise cut here instead of tearing it. And then it'll be time to start disassembling our clamps. So you're gonna notice in your kit you have a bunch of clamps. What you're gonna wanna do with each of these clamps is just go ahead and remove the hardware out of the clamp. I like to just go ahead and put the nut back on it and just separate all the hardware from each of the clamps, set your hardware aside. So now we're gonna grab our clamps. We're gonna have the small clamps in the front as well as on the rear. So we'll go ahead and grab 2 of our small clamps, wrap them up and around the cage here. Just slide the foam seal underneath of them. We'll just want to kind of get them rotated a little bit like that. And we'll take 3 large clamps. One is going to sit right about in here. We need to rotate this so that the flat is facing up. Put another one right here. As well as another one right in here. And we will have to adjust these as we go, obviously. Take another couple of the smalls. These will sit something like this. Again, you will have to rotate them around once you get your windshield up here. All right, so we have all these up here. Like I said, you may have to rotate them around once you get your roof up here. Actually, I'm pretty positive we're gonna have to move them around just a little bit to get everything to line up, but that's typical. But now we're gonna head on over to our bench, get our windshields coupled together, get all our grommets installed as well as our inserts. Once you've removed both portions of your roof, you wanna go ahead and make sure it fits your machine. We've already done this, so we're gonna go ahead and peel our protective film from both sides. I'm gonna do the same exact thing for the other one portion of the roof here. Lay this guy out like this. I'm gonna scoot this up a little bit so I have room to do something. All right, so in your hardware kit, you're gonna notice that you have a bracket here. This bracket is gonna join the 2 portions of the windshield together. The front being the one that has the lip on the front of it, and then the rear being the smaller of the 2 pieces. So what we need to do is we need to get our bracket here. It's gonna join the 2 together. We need to get our flat seal. Go ahead and remove the backing off of it so we can get the adhesive. Once we have the backing off, we just wanna take this and run it right down the center of our bracket. Now this is gonna help seal it, so we want it to run over our holes as well. So once we get to right here, we'll just go ahead and cut off any excess flat seal that we have. Just get it looking pretty good and clean there. Just like that. So what I personally like to do, just to make it that much easier on me, is I like to go ahead and pop all my hardware through the holes. It's easier to just go through, pop it, just like that. Feel your hole out again. Pop your screw through, go through, feel for more of them. And you need to do it from the top side, because if you try to do it from the bottom, it's just gonna push it up. Once we've done that, we'll go ahead, take our bracket and slide it in between the 2 portions of the roof. And you want the side that has the flat seal on it facing upwards, and we'll just line them up, just like so. And you can honestly get this side lined up and then couple it to the opposite side if that's easier for you. Just before you couple it, you wanna make sure that you get your hardware here, get your seals, your seal washers out of the hardware and install them like this so that you have the seal portion facing down towards the roof. Slide it through the roof here and take one of your nuts, come down here to the bottom side and go ahead and get your nuts started. Just hand start it, we'll go through and fully tighten the rest of them. So we'll just go through, get it lined up. Pick up on it a little bit so we can get to it. Put the hardware in. So once we have this side attached, We can just lay it up to the opposite side, line it up, and we'll just go through, put the rest of our hardware in, and then fully tighten the hardware, coupling the two portions of the roof together. So before we can install our windshield, we need to get all of our hardware that we previously removed from our clamps, which will be grommets, as well as sleeves here. And just go through in any hole that you see, you'll take a grommet, slide it in, once you have your grommet installed, you'll just go ahead and take your sleeve, slide it right down the center of the grommet. So then we'll just continue going around and installing all of our grommet and sleeves to our roof. So once we have all our grommets in, we're ready to go. We're ready to get our roof installed to our machine. Just gonna take it, lay it up on the machine first, and then we'll have to adjust everything around and get it in position. So we're gonna get our roof laid up here and then just kind of work it around, see where we can get hardware to line up at. And on the outsides, you're gonna wanna make sure that you use your long screws. And then on the front as well as the rear, you will want to use the short screws. We're just gonna get a couple of them started and then just see where the roof needs to line out. Now once you have all your hardware started, you're just gonna go through and fully tighten all of it, and then reinstall any previously removed clamps or anything like that for any other accessories that you may have on your machine. So once you've went through, fully tightened all your hardware, reinstalled any of your other components that you had on your machine previously, that's all there is to it to install SuperATV's tinted roof on this Kawasaki KRX 1000. For more information on this roof or any of SuperATV's great products, feel free to give us a call or check us out online. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.